Sam, who is our founder at Delenta, and I'm Jarrett, and I'm the head of business development at Delenta. So what we want to do today is just have a bit of a chat about how Delenta can basically help with a few different things. So we're going to be talking about some of the challenges faced by mid-market exec coaching companies and consulting businesses. We're going to be talking about the future of coaching, just to sort of go through a few things there. And we're also going to be talking about Delenta's solutions and how they can help in all the different areas we're talking about as well. So Sam, first off, how are you? You keeping well?
Very well, thanks, Jared.
Good.
Yeah, we already. I mean, still it's summer in the UK, isn't it? You can see that the sun is shining outside, and it's October. It's lovely. It's lovely.
No, that's right. Halloween's looming, and this
Yeah.
morning I think was my first proper winter, wet, dark, cold drive. I was driving the kids to school, and it was a proper winter's morning. So yeah, it's not. I don't know. Being Australian, the dark and the cold and the wet isn't my cup of tea. But hey, you take it when it's there, I guess. But
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but no, like the first sort of area I think we should talk about, I guess, would be that the challenges that, I mean, we're seeing it a lot when we're talking to people and different businesses, but the challenges that mid-market exec coaching companies and consulting businesses are facing. A lot of them are facing different issues, I guess, sort of like admin issues, lots of administration that is weighing them down. So admin burden, I guess you'd call it. Scalability issues, so they're having issues trying to up their team or increase their their opportunities, things like that, and then also cost effectiveness. So as far as how these businesses are delivering their courses, delivering their coaching in the most cost effective way. So I guess to open it up, I mean, what do you see? I mean, what do you think are the most pressing challenges that these businesses are facing, and how do you think that impacts their operations?
Yeah, very good question, Jared. I, at least speaking with so many different organizations, if you consider Delenta from the inception, we focus on solopreneurs, like individual coaching businesses, and last 2 years or so, we have moved into more mid-market enterprise organizations to be much more scalable, productive, and efficient in their operations, right? So I mean, organization from, like you said, mid-market, maybe like the 5 to 10 coaches or associates working under one organization, to hundreds of them working under associations, right? So this, recently we spoke to an organization who has 208 career coaches, right?
Yeah.
So these organizations, they have one thing common across the, for their businesses. One is they want to save time, right? They want to be efficient. They want to be more collaborative with their members, um, and everything else, right? Customer engagement, customer experience. How can we be better at it, and how can we scale this business to even 200, 300, 400, 500, right? And how can we onboard these organizations or customers that they are working with in a sort of large scale? So that's what we hear now. What we don't hear, which we don't say directly but indirectly, what we hear is that what's hidden in the message is that how do we manage this operation in a scalable way without compromising customer experience, without compromising our coach experience, associate experience, and also gather data very interesting way, so they can take interesting decision and also show that data back to their customers for big ROI, right? For demonstrate that ROI that they deliver on. So those are the things that overall are here, and the challenges that they directly mention. At the same time, what we see and what we hear that they don't say directly is that the fact that we want to work better, right? We want to work efficiently, and we want our customers to know that how well we deliver on that ROI that they.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even the reporting side, it's something that's not discussed as much lately, but that reporting side can really help, not just going back to the client, but going back to the client sponsor. And
Yeah.
then that really helps with your client retention and sustainability as well. So to be able to do all that work and then get a client and then deliver a good client experience, and then on top of that, secure future business is
Exactly.
a key aspect of that. And I suppose it's that retention side that isn't discussed as much as some of the other issues that we're talking about a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, scalability, I guess, is a pretty key component for a lot of these mid-market companies. So if talking about scalability specifically just for a bit, how what are the main ways that you see Delenta helping, supporting them to be able to scale? What are the key areas there?
Yeah, very good point. Right now, like we talked about earlier, like scalability is one of the critical aspects of their business when it comes to these medium small businesses who try to scale into the large enterprises, or even to be more productive without tarnishing their customer experience or damaging their couch experience, etc. So how do they do that? Like how well we are set out to do? So what they ideally need to happen is in that space, we see mainly they want to onboard many customers as possible, and the experience should be consistent, right? Now let's take an example, Jared. Like let's say you're executive coaching organization and you want to work with this large corporate, right? Where you be talking to HR or learning and development manager and saying, you know what, we can coach your entire middle management, team in the organization. So let's say they have 100 or 200 middle managers. Now, how they do that, right? Like, what sort of or do they look at the cohort point of view? Like, they get 10 at a time and do group workshops, right? Or they want to have maybe certain individuals, middle managers to work with one associate, right? Like that. You get 20 associate, then you're basically 200 managers are covered.
Yeah,
Now, what you're thinking about is a multi-dimensional way of growing a business, but again, their customer is critical, the experience is critical, but they want to make sure that they can, stay in front of HR or L&D manager or whoever, senior leader in that organization, and say, we got a system that can cover all these aspects. If we believe this is what you need, like maybe two group workshops every month, individual one-to-one sessions every week or so with one of our expert associates, and then we want you to basically people to onboard very easily into this system where they can even live chat with us, right, with our associates, with our problem. So how do you go about designing that solution? Today is really difficult for you to do that, right? You have to either build your platform yourself, or it will be tough, even my integrate with too many tools to do this. So that's what we have developed, like, to these organizations to think about this multi-dimensional way of providing the service. And also, at the end of the day, you want to get a report, or you, as a maybe business owner, you want to see the progress in those, how many people are getting onboarded, how many sessions are conducted, are there any no-shows, right? What are the cancellations, what's the goals, are they achieving those things? So all of that can be seen in one place. That's what I think is a challenge, right, today
yeah,
for these people
no,
when they're scaling.
that's right. And I mean, and coming from a multi-coach and client group management aspect, that for most businesses is such a sticking point. I mean, even just in the article I was writing yesterday, that to save 20 hours a week, and to say, I think it's like 43 days in a year, that some of our clients are saying that's the time I'm saving in admin by being able to do all the things I need to through Delenta, to be able to manage my coaches and all my associates, and to be able to manage the clients and the groups of clients and everything like that all in the one place, and basically go from those multiple tabs to that one tab. So I mean, you probably, I mean, I'm sure you agree that, I mean, that's probably one of the key components for a executive coaching and consulting business. I mean, would you think that's one of the key aspects?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Jared. I think you're going the right sort of direction with this thinking process. of how they are looking to scale their business and manage their operations efficiently. So what I would say is, um, the reporting part that you just mentioned is it's something that, I don't know, for last 6 12 months is keep coming up, right? I think like last 6 months especially, people are now really conscious about what's really happening in their businesses, right? It's not just the sessions, but what's the experience that they're giving to these individuals, especially when you have multiple coaches working together, right? And who's busiest, who's not, why the cancellations are, how long those sessions take, right? And so and also how they can create multiple product. For example, if you're thinking of, some of these content, some of these sessions can be like, keep coming up, and you want them to be, created as a course or content library, and drip those content, share those content in a sort of a certain periodically, like certain intervals. How do they do that, right? Today you can do that in Delenta course platform, right?
Yeah,
So then, hey, there's some more value addition for their customers. Plus, you save that time without you having to keep repeating the same thing again and again.
yeah.
So yeah, those are the sort of things that.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, a client experience is something that keeps popping up too, and clients expect and almost demand now a good experience. They don't want the email with the Zoom link and then a separate thing, and then having to, if anything goes wrong, then they have to send another, reschedule, and there's so much admin that's built in behind that. So even just little things inside Delenta, like being able to assign a different coach or integrate the calendar so that it's all done automatically. So the rescheduling is done. You don't have to then go into 2 or 3 other platforms and adjust them as well. It's all just done with one click of a button. So that from that aspect as well, and that client experience, and that then links into the other things we were talking about with client retention and all those sort of things, ability to scale and all those sort of things. So it's yeah, it's an interesting point, that's for sure. And then I suppose leading into the next thing is as far as cost effectiveness. So when you look at it from so many different areas, from not just the amount of time you're saving through, if you're saving 43 days a year, that's a lot of cost effectiveness right there. But apart from that, all the other subscriptions that you're looking at having that Delenta can integrate into one place. So just the cost effectiveness of that over multiple coaches, you must agree that the ability for Delenta to save those costs over time is huge.
Yeah, so for that, let me respond to you with a story, right? Like, so why Delenta exists today and how he started. Um, the point, you know this background story, but some of them who listen into this might not be, where we started and why we started. So Delenta, is also working in the industry for over 20 years in the technology industry, and I decided to start this almost like a non-profit kind of platform where people can share their experience, knowledge with others. It was more like a social experiment to start with. This was back in 2018, 19, and then we launched the product, and then we were waiting for people to come and use the sort of a this kind of charitable purposes, share their knowledge for free. And then during the pandemic, we've got so many people came to us because they were very conscious about the remote working at the time. They thought nobody going to go out of the house for the next 5 years, so we have to adapt the technology to work with so Zoom was growing, Microsoft Team was growing, and we also sort of look at like these people's feedback, and they said, we use this tool, that tool, that tool, that tool, that tool, all that stuff, right? And they won't integrate those tools to our platform. So what we decided to do very simply said, you know what, you don't have to integrate anymore. We will create a platform that you can create easily sales pages, your landing pages. You can also integrate with your Zoom and Google, whatever the calendar that you got, and you can basically plug into the single platform where you can capture data easily, about your business, about your customer experience, how many sessions you're doing, how many sessions that you need to do in order to get a customer kind of data.
Yeah.
So we look at those workflows and create it. So what we found out was around we basically building around 12 different tools that people use today, including a course platform that you have to basically maybe purchase from somewhere, resource library, Google Drive or whatever, and then all the other landing page softwares, funnel softwares to all that. How they can simply bring into one solution, booking calendar, appointment management, notes, tasks, goal setting, all that into one place
Yeah.
where they don't have to think about, you know, how to plug these things together, how to integrate them together. Do I need a technical guy to start my business? Oh, I need to do this workshop, group workshop. Now I need a web developer or copywriter to do this for me and launch this. The idea of Delenta was created. It's a simple, very simple and easy where you can test things very quickly, because coaching is a very personable, very human, relationship oriented business.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful landing pages, beautiful pictures can influence some respect, but you as a brand, you as a person, what you put it out there with a very simple page will go even further. I think that's like a 90% in our philosophy, going to impact people. So how can we do that without you going to add more and more tech to your business? So now we have consolidated almost like 12 plus tools. We adding more and more every month, almost every week we release new thing to the platform. So we're going to add all these tools where you can get amazing experience, and your customers also can see one place for resources, appointment management, work with you, how much sessions, how much value they get, and what's their, where the contracts besides like e-sign and things like that, task goals, are they achieving those goals, everything in one place. So
Yeah.
it's
No,
cohesive.
that's right. And all those things you mentioned, all those different tools that coaches have to use if they're not using Delenta, it costs money, right?
Right.
So just
Time, man. Like, learning about these tools and figuring out how to connect them is the most painful part. That's what we found out during the, sort of 2020.
yeah,
Connecting, they think that they connect and they work well, but sometimes they break, they become clunky, and the
yeah,
data that they capture is more fragmented compared to, unified a solution like us. We know exactly when somebody do a Zoom session. If we initiate Zoom session on Delenta, you know exactly what time you started, what time you end. It basically get fed back to the, coaching logs,
yeah,
CPD, yeah. And then how many sessions remaining for that client, and
yeah.
that recorded as a completed session, and then all that ties together nicely into one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's only been a couple of months for me at Delenta, but something I only discovered through this last week is the way those logs are done is how coaching accreditation houses like it for when they're trying to get accredited and things like that. So coaches don't have to spend hours sitting and putting into an Excel spreadsheet start times, finish times, this and all that. It's all done. They're ready for them to just go. There's all my logs, which I think is brilliant. A little surprise there for everyone. but
The
but
customers
yeah,
love.
look. So I mean, from a cost effectiveness point of view, there's so many angles that you can look at as to how Delenta does help businesses and everyone in that regard. So that's a great thing as well. Then the next thing I wanted to sort of tie into is
Jared, can I interrupt you
yeah, yeah,
quickly? Sorry, I want to mention this. The reason why we have developed this many different tools, and even a little thing like, for example, I would, if a if you're a coach who say, what, I have my own proprietary content. I don't want people to download that content. I want that content to be protective and all that. We create a solution. We looked at your request very, very seriously. So over time, what happened is we created this community, very much social impactful community. They fed the data back to us and say, these are the things that we find challenging that nobody else want to solve. And that's where we started, creating these things. So over time we created these different tools, but then now we ended up with 12 plus 13 plus tools in one place, and then
yeah. That's the bonus, isn't it? I mean, and that ties nicely into what I was going to sort of raise there is the future of coaching. and where it's heading. I mean, we've got a very clear public roadmap of where we're looking to take the platform, but I'm sure you've got a lot to add in regard to the landscape of coaching and industry trends, emerging technologies, and the constantly evolving client expectations, and along with that, AI. I mean, the impact AI is having everywhere on the planet, let alone in the coaching world and consulting world. So I'm sure in your view, how is the industry evolving, and what are the trends that is going to shape its future in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, interesting, right? Like, the technologies are evolving. I mean, it's always been the case, but last sort of 6 months or with ChatGPT, OpenAI, and a lot of AI companies coming up. So every startup now have AI,
Yeah,
label on, and is such a trend. Um, However, I'm more like conventional guy myself, and I seen, at least for last 20 years of my career, I see technologies rise and they revolutionize the industry and go to the next stage and all of that. Um, what I see is the value of coaching and mentoring gonna get even more important, demanding in the next years to come. Human coaching going to be very important aspect. Yes, there are bots are created. There's not intelligent enough. They need so much data, different data points. Um, we are we are very focused. We are very focused about a coaching business who's adding value to corporates, who's adding value to individuals, who wants to be better managers, who wants to be better leaders in the space, and how we can simply simplify the process for those organizations, how we can save more time, and also make it more accessible for organization, for individuals. So if we can make that dream come true for people to say, you know what, I love coaching, I like mentoring, and I want to do that, and that's my majority of time should be, right? And I get better at it every time I do sessions. I work with these different clients and different backgrounds, and that's what we want to do, right? We want basically save more and more time for them to basically add value when we can work on the platform, on their business. Now, yes, there are other tools out there. Even Microsoft recently created a tool where, as an employee, you can send the bot to the meeting. You don't have to go to the meeting, right? Sort of things like that. So this is called Copilot. So there will be tools, and I don't know how those will work. And how people respond. Still, people say, you know what, ChatGPT and other AI bots are going to be very effective and accessible, all that. But let's focus on the immediate problems, right? Let's focus on the human coaching. How can we make it better, right? We are you probably, Jared, that we have started our research on AI and ML, deep learning area, that how we can make a better human coach, right?
yeah,
So there's so much data points needed, to basically have, create that intelligence, and we believe we will be able to do that better. However, what our immediate and the next sort of 12 24 months look like is very much focused on executive coaching businesses, career coaching businesses, coaches who are making immense value, adding immense value to this space, where how we can save time, how can we make things easier for them, simplify, and then make them productive. Yeah, so that's what we will keep focusing on doing.
yeah, that's right. I mean, I suppose the key to integrating AI into businesses' processes is doing it in a way that they want, in a way that suits what they're doing as well. And I suppose it's probably a good chance to chat how our clients are involved with our product team,
Right.
to talk about how we're driving the platform forward and integrating these things in the right way and building the platform the way that the clients want to work with it. So
Yes.
that's probably a key thing too, is that being able to talk to the guys and say, I'd really like to be able to do it this way, this way, this way, and then soon after that's into the roadmap, and you can see these implementations coming. that's a key aspect of it as well. But yeah, I mean, I suppose the future is going to be a tricky one. ChatGPT and AI and you name it. It's going to be an interesting time, that's for sure, for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, every time a new technology come up, and like I think what last 3 years or 4 years, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency was the
Mm,
big word in the sort of a financial world to individuals who's looking to invest and all that. And then before that it was what big data, and then the names always come up, AR, VR, all that stuff. I think there will be a situation now with the technology that emerging. There's a nice, we are looking for, like there's a junction that we see in the future, that we this all this technology can get connected and then have a massive impact on the sort of a individual's experience. That will happen, right? No matter what.
yeah,
But human coaching is such an essential thing, and then it will be there. It will be there for a long time.
yeah. And what do you think these? I mean, thinking of big market structures and them wanting to be able to scale and implement everything they want to. What sort of things can they do to prepare for the future? I mean, apart from having Delenta and being ready and talking to the product team, is there anything else you think they can sort of try and adopt or lines they can go down to help that process? Do you think?
Yeah. Now, it's an interesting question. At the same time, I'm sort of thinking, hey, are we progressing in the right direction, right? Are we ready for the next level of I don't know, millennials, or next level of individuals to get to coach, or what, how do they look like, what's their behavioral pattern, right? How much do we know about that your market, that our market that we are going for? So if I'm organization, I'll be looking at more into the customer,
Mm,
right? The person who's coaching, person who's getting the value out of their services, and how they can be even more better at it, right? So that's what the technology can do. Technology simply come in and say, you know what, this is how you can be better at it. How do you rate this conversation that you had, right? If you're keep adding value and be focused on that customer, I don't think you have to be worried about it too
yeah,
much.
that's right. I mean, a lot of it for me, my thoughts on it would be that a lot of these great pieces of tech that come in, and technology in general, it's
Yeah,
things that make things easier, and it saves time, and it saves costs, all
have
those
to.
sort of things. So, from the wheel to ChatGPT, all of these things make it easier,
Yeah,
and that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, that's how I see Delenta. Is it's something that makes life easier for these businesses, makes life easier for coaches. It even makes life easier for clients. So everyone involved in the system is saving time and is making things easier for everyone involved. So yeah, from a technology and a future standpoint, I think that's the way forward, is to try and make all your systems and structures as easy as you can. And then
yeah,
as these new integrations come along, as AI, whatever integration that might be, or any new system that comes along, we can integrate with that and make things easier again. So it's exciting times. And it's a tricky question, very hard one to answer because no one really knows the answer. But yeah, it's something that we can all have a good think about and probably worry about as well. Um,
fundamentals are not changing, right? In the world of business, I don't think for last, what, 100 or 200 years, right? There's a customer, there's you, and there's a service that you can offer,
yeah,
right? If you're matching and if you're in a sort of a similar line, everything else can help in order that transaction to be realized, right? And then and how you can basically create that straight line from where you are to the customer,
yeah,
right? If you can do that, it's such a better experience for both parties, right? So
mm,
more and more, I think we should consciously think about that part, rather than getting distracted about all these technologies out there and how the world going to change, whether I'm going to basically doing the coaching next year or not, whether bot going to take over my business or whatever. Yes, you have to be aware, but the customer is what is important at the end of the day. Why would they use a bot rather than you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that sort of ties into where I was what I was going to ask next is, how is Delenta helping these businesses meet the expectations that they have? So we've got all sorts. We've got the 12 tools tied in. We're updating all the time. We've got our roadmap. But I mean, are there any other specific ways that you can see Delenta helping? I mean, we've got the streamlining, the administrative tasks, we've got the cost effectiveness, we've got the ability to scale. Are there any other sort of key factors for you that you wanted to sort of discuss, or would they be the main ones covered?
Yeah, I mean, the as a platform, as a solution, the software, there is a specific focus for that. But I've seen many times people use the product in a multiple different ways, right? I remember, like, it's an individual who use Delenta for only for note management,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah,
That's a note management, right? Like, so some people use, like, for scale their business to, from 1 to 2 to then, to, 15, 16, and universities using their product, use our Delenta to, scale and, add more external associates into their, programs. So this can be used in a multiple different ways, and they can get benefited in multiple different ways. However, if you're an organization who's conscious about productivity, ROI, what sort of data that we can offer to our customers, to showcase that, this is what works, and give a better customer experience, and also have a platform that you can put it in front of a customer and say, we can scale, we can take care of your entire business because we can scale with your demand without issue. I think that's where we really can help them. Jared.
yeah,
On top of that, we are a very customer centric organization. If you have problem, you can always raise live chat request with us. We will really quickly respond to you. And if there's anything critical that you're worried about, I mean something around data or something, if you want a policy for us to share to reassure your customers, like for example I use a 27,001 that we are investing right now in our business. So things that like that, like, how we can help you, and we are always there to help you, and we work with customers as well, right? We showcase their businesses
yeah.
in our social media
No,
too.
that's right. That's something I've been so impressed with is that you know it is a partnership, with our clients, and so everyone at Delenta is working with these clients, and if suggestions are taken on board and they're implemented in short time, so that's great to see. It's something that's been a really nice breath of fresh air for me to see the the front end and the product or the tech or the tech side working well together to sort of deliver on that front end, which is just great to see. Um, but yeah, I mean, I suppose as far as some people might be wondering, what can I do? How can I see a bit more of Delenta, and what's the best process to follow? So I mean, obviously we've got our website, so delenta.com, which you can see in the video here. We've got ways to do demos. We can take you through the product. We can do discovery calls with you and find out everything that we need to know and you need to know about Delenta, and start things that way. But what would you recommend? What's the best way to get going, and what should people do to really basically take advantage of everything we've talked about today, from streamline and building a scalable, cost-effective business?
Yeah, no, Jared, that's a very interesting, right? Like what, like, you probably maybe individual, you just starting your coaching journey, you just got certified, or you're in the process of adding, sort of valid, hours to your coaching log, and get certified, etc. Um, Platform is there to use, right? You can self, there's a 14 days trial period. You can come in and sort of experience what we offer and really test the platform and get yourself immersed in what we are doing, and how we add value. If you're an organization, or if you're a little bit mature in the in the journey, and then think, what, I need support, I don't have time for me to figure out all that, and I want you to help me set up this, and then we have our onboarding team. We basically do the sales, sort of setting up and making sure that all these packages are migrated, customers are migrated, notes, all that is basically done nicely for you to basically move, forward with the most effective and productive way. If you're an organization and think, what, I have this admin team, coaches, and multiple people, I'm kind of stuck with this multi-system chaos, we call it, like, there's more and more systems, and it just
Yeah.
and I want to see the data, I want to create those reports and all that. Speak to our team, book a demo. If you go to our website, you can basically book a demo. I really, really recommend you speak with us, and learn from, help us to learn your challenges, and give you the best solution possible based on your challenges. So that you're really good at doing, you know having those conversations with our customers and recommending what's the best way to go forward, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, and that touches on something that I'm pretty passionate about is the resistance to change, right? So sometimes someone will see a process there that is so much better, that is so much easier, and will make life easier, but to change is a big challenge for some people. And it can like it might be so obvious about how much better this option is, but because it's working, yes, it takes me a lot of time to do this, and it's a lot of hassle to do that and whatever, but it's working, and I'm really scared to change. That's something that I really enjoy talking to people about, and it's probably something that's good to mention is that our onboarding process is done with you. It's a step-by-step process. So everything from the white labeling to the integrations to everything that they, getting coaches and everything on board. It's something that we are there for you to help you with. So you don't need to be so scared or resistant to that change, because in a very short amount of time, you've got a new system that's easy to operate, and all those admin hassles and things that used to take ages.
Right.
Even I mean, we haven't even talked about collecting payments and how easy the platform makes that. That's a thing of the past, and you're wondering why you didn't do it so long ago. So I enjoy that side of it too. Is getting that change affected and seeing people go, oh, happy days! Like this is exactly what we needed. So yeah, so don't be scared of that change if you're out there. We'll be there to help you and hold your hand through that and make sure we've got everything in place so that whether it be a soft launch or anything like that, it's ready to go and in place for them. So yeah, I wanted to mention that resistance to change at some point. So
Very
that's
good point. And Jared, like, of course, sort of, this 2020, I don't know how fast it went, like so quickly this time passed, right? This year also gone. So 2024 is coming up.
yeah.
So you're probably thinking about, what, okay, so what's next year look like for us, right? How many coaches you're adding. So we already having this discussion with our existing customers saying, what, how many you want to on board, like what's the best way to go about, and all these plans, sort of, this is the right time to that, make that change. It's a new year coming up. There's a time that, you probably have time, to prepare for that new year, to be successful and scalable and more productive and efficient organization. So it's a very good point, Jared. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, I think that's a good chat. I think we've covered some key areas there. There's some good takeaways for everyone. But definitely, I encourage, come and have a go. Come and have a look. We've got people here to take you through a demo. We've got a free trial. We've got everything there. We've got the reviews. I mean, all the reviews are out there on g2.com, etc. So yeah, that's there to go and have a look at as well. But no, it's a good chat. I hope everyone enjoys it, and I think Sam, you should probably go and have a swim in that lovely pool behind you.
Yeah, one day.
That's all right. So yeah, thanks a lot for the chat, and I hope everyone enjoys it. If you've got any questions, just reach out. Feel free to get in touch. My email is jarrett@delenta.com, and we can get the ball rolling for you. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
It's great interview. Hope everybody enjoy the rest of the summer. Is there summer? No, sort of. In the UK, and of course, yeah. If you, like Jared said, if you have any questions, reach out to on LinkedIn, or one of us, Jared and myself, that we are available on LinkedIn as well. And also you use our website, delenta.com, and use our live chat to speak to anyone and book a demo. These are the channels that you got. Looking forward to speaking with you all.
Brilliant. No worries, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you another time soon. Thank you.